Dirt roads to rock crawling, two-buck chuck to screaming eagle, moonshine to 50-year-old single malt. We talk about it all here on Wheelin' Wine and Whiskey with your hosts, Jason and Chris.
Welcome to Wheeling Wine and Whiskey, episode 260. 260.
Hey, Lorenzo. Well, you're still in celebration mode, huh?
How you doing? Oh, yeah. Yes. May's a good month.
It is a
May's
good
really
month.
Good month.
It's
you got Cinco de Mayo. You got my birthday. You got the safety clinic.
Yep.
You got the start. You got Memorial Day.
You got
all the good stuff's going on in May.
And
May flowers.
NorCal Rock Racing.
Mother's Day. Yeah. It's all there. It's the beginning of wheeling season, man.
That's
Let's
right.
go wheeling.
I'm ready. I'm almost ready. Woohoo! Sweet. Hey, we're making this happen.
Doing?
I'm doing good. And you?
Fantastic.
I know you're reintegrating back into reality again, and from your vacation number 73 this year.
Yes. It's a tough life, but somebody's got to do it. Yeah, that's the final man. That was an expensive ordeal, but a lot of fun. We'll get into that. But cruising the high seas of the Pacific Ocean was pretty freaking cool.
Right on, man. Right on. Yeah, I'd love to hear all the details. We'll share that with our listeners here shortly. But before we do all that, we got a little bit of business to cover, huh?
Yeah, let's do it. You're all about the business.
Well, it's not crazy. We're doing this. We're using some technology to make this happen right now, Jason.
We are good technology.
It's making it happen, but you can't tell the sound quality is really good. Jason's actually using his cell phone with Riverside tonight. I'm in the home studio here with my regular microphone and headphones, but this is. I'm in
the Bay Area.
We go to great lengths to make this show happen for our listeners. So.
Back in the Bay Area.
All the traffic and the beautiful weather. It's been
the weather has been good. The traffic wasn't as bad today, so we're okay. But everybody's already on holiday for Memorial Day, so
you were
how it works here.
You were out of town and traveling. Did you end up with any of that? They got like 2 feet of snow that last weekend or the weekend before.
They got 26
last.
inches at Squaw Valley.
Everybody was caught with their pants down, man. It seemed like all of a sudden it's like, holy smokes. But I always say you never know what you're going to get in May and in the High Sierra. Nothing surprises me up there. People that say, oh, this is a surprise, I'd be like, you guys are crazy.
Yeah, I've had it snow on the Rubicon in August, so it just you never know.
You never know.
That was a really big dump in a short amount of time even for us in May. So unfortunately, I didn't get out skiing that, but I heard my friends did. They said it was a little bit of a shit show, but they got to ski 2 feet of fresh snow in May. That's pretty phenomenal. So. Yeah, and then the fucking Northern Lights going on. It's just been epic up in the mountains.
Yeah. I heard that they closed Interstate 80 for a while because of spinouts and whatnot. So.
Oh yeah.
Typical shit show.
Anytime 4 or 5 raindrops or snowflakes falls on 80, it's just an instant shit show.
Yep, for sure. So
just ask James.
A little bit
Samurai James will tell you all about it.
Little OT for Samurai James there for sure. Mm-hmm. So always raking in the bucks. So hey, we just want to give a shout out to the Barrel Society members. We appreciate each and every one of you. I'm still working on trying to get the spreadsheet organized so we can get back to giving anniversaries and birthdays or whatever you want to call them.
Right.
But every one of those of our supporters in the Barrel Society, we absolutely appreciate your support. And if you want to join the Barrel Society or if you want to follow Wheeling Wine Whiskey, you can swing over to irate4x4.com and you can create an account there. That's a great form. It's the old Pirate 4x4 that's been updated and made better. I don't know. It's not the old Pirate. It's somebody kind of reinvented it.
Well, it is. It's a reversion of the The old pirate. So all the old pirate stuff is there.
Right.
With all kinds of new good stuff.
Great forums, great information. Sometimes it can be a friendly atmosphere, and sometimes not so much, depending on which forum you're in.
No, it's all good.
Yeah, it's absolutely awesome. So anyway, you can go over to irate4x4.com, create a free account there, and you can participate in the forums, whether you're into Toyotas, or Jeeps, or Internationals, or Scouts, or whatever it is you're into, or G-Wagons. I don't know. They got forums for everything. But we like the Jeep stuff, and of course, you scroll on down to watch, listen, and discuss. You'll find Wheeling Wine Whiskey down there. You click on that, and you'll see all the links to our past episodes and discussions from past episodes, and questions and so forth and so on, and other just random discussions. And if you feel like supporting the show, not required, but it's certainly appreciated. On the right side of the screen, you can see click or links to the $5, $10, and $20 per month tiers, where you get you can support the show financially, and we appreciate that if you choose to do it.
Absolutely. And we're coming up on I guess technically we are into our 5-year anniversary now.
Yeah.
So we got to figure out a special episode coming up here. I know we're gonna miss each other this next weekend, but maybe after that we can get together and get some other people together and have a special hootenanny.
A shit show?
Oh, well, I don't know. We won't invite the Toyota
guys. Right. Perfect. Yeah, no, that's I can't believe it. 5 years. Holy smokes.
Did Trail Chasers ever come back online? I don't think so. I haven't gotten any new updates from them.
No, not a peep from them. Not a peep from them.
So now it's back down to 2 podcasts.
Yep, I know. It's, the lone wolf.
2 and a 10th. We got Cruising Camp starting to make a slow resurgence.
Well, he's got plenty of content on the rebuild of his rig after he totaled it in the rollover at Cruising. What's that? Cruise Moab. Yeah, so that's going to be an interesting rebuild or a rebirth, or I don't know exactly what his plan is, but I guess he's bought a new rig, and I don't know. Well, he'll cover all that on his show. But
he will, but we'll see. That's enough Toyota talk for one episode.
I know, right? For sure. So that's all the business we have right now. We're technically or technologically challenged right now for doing some voicemails, but we'll get back to those next week. So listeners, look forward to that.
We got a couple of shout outs because I know some people on the road that are traveling right now that are going to be listening to this podcast when it comes out tomorrow, Tuesday, the 14th. Yes. So I know this shout out. I'll just tee it up for you, and I'll let you run home with it because this is one of your favorite people on earth, Mrs. Ultra 4 Jones Mallory.
Oh yeah,
coming back from Alabama. Shout out to Ultra 4 Jones and Mallory.
Kevin Jones and Mallory.
Laughing right now. So what? She is one crazy lady to do all this crazy stuff.
She's a diamond in the rough, man. She's
holy smokes.
She's one patient lady, that's for sure. Go ahead.
Oh, I was going to say, if you haven't been following the page, because I know you're on and off IG, but he bought a sight unseen Bronco, mid '80s Bronco, I believe.
Yeah,
blue,
O.J. Simpson style.
Yeah, and he's calling it Bluey or something.
Yep.
And sight unseen, and part of the adventure was to fly out there, pick this thing up, do what they needed to do to make it cross-country travel safe, and they're traveling back to California.
Well, not only is it they're traveling cross-country safe, but they actually went east before they're coming west.
Well, Alabama's near Florida, yes.
No, I know, but it's like, oh, wait, we're here. We might as well go east for a while and head down the peninsula.
He saw Hank Williams Sr.'s grave. I mean, that's pretty cool. So when you're out in those different parts of the country, you might as well take advantage of the time and go see some of these things that you probably only see once in your lifetime. So,
and a big bonus for that is he's giving reviews for parts stores as he travels. So,
is he really?
Well, I mean, I think inadvertently.
I wonder if his Napa discount works in Florida and Alabama and from on the East Coast.
Do you know who I am?
You're right. I'm the Kevin Jones discount.
You just posted a video of them, the process they have to get to do to get in and out of the vehicle. I guess Mallory has to get in first on the passenger side, and then it's because door handles don't work and latches don't work.
Perfect. Be a great project.
I'm telling you,
He needs another project.
Did he ever say how much he paid for that?
No, I don't know. I'm sure he got a deal on it.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So
he doesn't buy anything unless it's a deal. So, and then the other individual, our friends Ira and Lori, are now out of California. I mean California as well.
They escaped.
Where did they choose?
Arkansas.
Arkansas or Kansas.
I gotta say, I'm really sad at their departure because they live here or lived in my town here in Livermore, and they were good
10
friends.
minutes away.
Yeah, right across town, and could pop over there. They'd pop over here. We'd get together frequently to go wine tasting at the numerous wineries here in town, and I'm sad. I really am. It's Ira and Lori. I know I'm happy for you. It's a new adventure for you and your your father. You know, jaunting across the country to a new area, new places to explore, new adventures, and yeah, I'm sad, but at the same time, I'm happy for them.
Yeah, it's you guys at least a few times a month would hook up for dinners and wine tasting, a little ice cream at Lord's.
Oh yeah,
So yeah, we made a point to get out there and fight the traffic to get to your side of town. Jim, Monica, and I headed up before I took off on my trip, and we all had dinner together with everybody there. So that was pretty cool.
Yeah, definitely.
And where was that place called? The Hop Divine?
Hop Divine. Yeah. It's a great eatery. It's got, great taps with a lot of different beers, rotating beers. They have a wine list. It's a good place. Oh, they got a great selection of bourbons and whiskeys.
Good old fashioned.
Oh yeah, no doubt. So yeah, we go there a lot. Janine and I, my wife and I go, or we do takeaway. I mean, it's just we have a horse that's in the stable on that side of town. That when they're coming back from taking care of the horse in the evening, they might stop and grab something.
Oh, okay, perfect.
So yeah, we're very very fond of that place.
Yeah, so he'd been keeping up with us and listening to our podcast for the last 3 days, getting caught up on the long journey out to Arkansas. I guess it's a huge mountain bike area. So
yeah, Bentonville. That's just it's like the Mecca. It's the Mecca.
Yeah.
So
there's like a Castle Fragsburg or something. He said Fraggle Rock. No, some Castle Mountain, Castle Peak.
Yeah, something like that.
He could see was coming into view, and he was super excited. And
the Ozarks.
It's just there's some. Well, then the Ozarks are obviously right there too. But I guess this particular Castle Peak is epic mountain bike riding. It's like the Rubicon of mountain bike riding. So
yep.
They're really looking forward to that. It'll be great. It's nice. I mean, I'm glad I'm done with it. But yeah, a year ago it was hectic. But it's nice to get moved in and new spot, new town, new everything, and just kind of hit the old reset button,
Right.
So yeah, and he was long overdue.
Yep, no doubt. I mean, and he can work remotely. He works for a high-tech company, and we're not going to mention that name, but yeah. So anyway, good for them. I'm happy for them, and good luck in their new adventures, which is awesome.
Yeah. So
I mean, we're going to still be in touch with them. Obviously, they're not.
Oh God, yeah.
They're not disappearing off the face of the earth. So
I'm looking forward to getting out there because we did do in April we ran through Arkansas. Rhonda, James, and I, Samurai, James, Samurai, Rhonda, there, Lady Samurai. I guess
that was over a year ago.
She is. Yeah, it was in April, and got to hang out with Ian Johnson there and stuff. So that, in Tennessee, but that whole area is just pretty epic. So now we got a home place to stay out there.
Yeah, they got plenty of land.
3 days to get out there.
Yeah, right.
Telling.
Yeah, exactly.
It'd be good.
It'd be a fun adventure. That's for sure.
Yeah. So we got to get you out there and do some of that Tennessee wheeling
or Tennessee whiskey. I'm down with,
and that too. Gosh, So good.
Yeehaw. What else do we got going on? We've got, so the safety clinic is coming up this weekend. It's sold out.
Yeah. It sold out in like a day and a half.
Yeah, it did. It's just crazy how fast, what the demand is for it. And you're going to be there. It sounds like. I'm not going to be there. I've got a wedding I'm going to be attending this weekend coming up. It's taking all of my resources to get to and whatnot. So
right.
This will be the second clinic I'm going to miss in a row. And that's just unheard of. I don't like it. I want to get back to a normal routine, and I'm going to make every effort to be at the fall clinic this year.
Okay.
With the full complement of camper and trailer and Jeep and whatnot. So, but so that's this weekend. And then I do want to circle back real quick. I think we mentioned real briefly, NorCal Rock Racing just occurred. The second round, I believe, up at Prairie City, which is just east of Sacramento. And I have results. I didn't make it there. I know our good friend Andy Cardenas was there taking photographs and doing what he does and hopefully dodging cars. He's spry and nimble on his feet when he has to be. So
he is. He's a fast mover for his size.
For his size and age. That's right. So
yeah. That's what I meant.
So yeah, so here are the results. It's there were a lot of classes that ran. They had the big dogs. They had 4,400, 4,800, 4,500, 40. I mean, basically all the classes, Ultra 4 classes. And then it was a lot of UTVs. That class of racing is just exploding. And I'm not going to get into all the minutia of those results because, I don't know. I mean, other than you being a side-by-side guy now,
golf cart
things, exactly. So anyway, let's see. There's only 6 entries in the 4,400 class, so I'll just rattle them all off. Let's go to the big dogs first. So 6th place we have Austin Thompson from Nevada City. And then Brendan Thompson from Nevada City, I guess either father, son, or brothers or something.
Somehow related.
4th place was Mark Nicholson out of Grass Valley. And then we had in 3rd place Edwin Abd, ABD.
Oh, Edwin, yeah.
Out of Santa Maria. So he came in 3rd. And then 2nd place was Travis Riley Sr. Out of Meadow Vista. And then number 1, 1st place, James Mahoney out of Colfax. So
okay, there you go.
Local people for the most part.
So no Gomez brothers.
No, apparently not. So, and then we have some people we know in the 4,500 class. 3 entries. You had, and I'm sure the 45, 46, and 48s were all running together. So, but we had Jesse Balter in 3rd place. And then Steve Crawford out of Paso in 2nd place. And then none other than Justin Hall out of Morgan Hill came in 1st. Good job, Justin.
Did well, yeah. Congratulations, Justin.
Let the dog eat.
Pulled out a first class, first place win, first class as well.
Yep.
Representing the Falcon livery.
In his not quite stock Samurai.
No, but this is the final. He's got a few more races in this car, and then he's got the brand new chassis, Liberty Mountain Fab chassis, getting delivered to his shop here, 13 Fabrication, pretty soon.
And that's going to be
to dial that in.
That'll be a 4,800 car.
Will be a 4,800 car, yep, and be ready for KOH 2025.
I am looking forward to that. That's going to be exciting to watch.
Yeah,
see what he can do. See what he can do with a big dog car. So,
yeah.
All right, cool. So then we moving into the 4,600, the stock class. We've got none other than Megan Miller came in 3rd place in her Jeep out of Carmichael.
It sounded like she grenaded an engine.
Oh boy. Well,
yeah. I got to get details. I got to call Derek, but it sounded like the engine left the chat. One of the pistons and rods did.
Oh boy.
There's an inspection window in the block now.
Yeah, that's never a good thing.
No.
That'll definitely put you on the sideline. All right. Well, Megan, reach out to us. Let's get some deets. We want to hear the story. And then 2nd place, Callan Myers out of Paradise. And 1st place was Kendall Glines in a Jeep out of Utah. Made the trip from Utah.
Wow, nice.
So there you go. That is that's the 4600 class. 4800 class. We had 10 entries. I think let's read them all off. What the hell?
Yeah.
So you have 10th place was Austin Thompson out of Nevada City. 9th place was Ross Glaive out of Reading. 8th place, Jeffrey Bradford out of Reading. And then 7th place was Daniel Gutenberg out of Orangevale, California. 6th place, Johnny Valadez out of Agua Dulce, California. And then I don't know. I don't know. And then you've got 5th place is Luke Campman out of Orland.
Luke.
And then somebody we know, 4th place, Chuck Crossland.
Oh, Chucky. Fucking Chucky. He got 4th. Okay.
Los Molinos out of Los Molinos. And then another big name, Trent Roberts out of Clarksburg, California, Trent. 3rd place. And then 2nd place, Joshua Baxey. Not sure who that is. Out of Orangevale. Good job there, Joshua, showing up and pulling in a podium at 2nd. And then in the 1st place, Jeremy Brown out of Rio Linda.
Nice.
So there you go. So that's
man,
a lot of good racing was missed by us this past weekend. But it was Mother's Day weekend, so let's see what else you got. This then UTV Pro Sportsman Pro Mod 170. We're not going to mention all
that's
this
all
stuff.
That's all the golf cart stuff.
Yeah, the golf cart stuff.
The 170 is the kids,
right? Well, then they have UTV RS1 youth. They got a whole bunch of youth categories now.
Yeah, that's cool.
Anyway, I mean, pros in the UTV 1000 Pro, the top 3. We'll just go here. 3rd with Wyatt Blevins. Never heard of him. Don't know who that is, but congratulations. 2nd place, Justin Radford, and then out of Grass Valley, local guy. And then 1st place, Bobby Wahlberg out of Corning. So there you go. That is the NorCal Rock Racing results for last weekend, and there's more racing coming up. I don't have that up on my screen right now, but I can find the schedule. But yeah, that's always a great venue to go watch racing at because it's easy to get to, plenty of parking. You can see most of the track. You can walk around in the pits. It's just a fun place. And I mean, it can be, I've been there in heat and I've been there in pouring down rain now. And I think I'd rather have the heat.
Yeah, that place gets so muddy, man. It's just, it's greasy, nasty mud that, man, those poor drivers have to, work forever to get that mud off. So,
yep.
Anyways, yeah, I'm glad. Yeah, that's a great venue to watch. It's, I don't know if I'd ever want to race there. It's just carnage, man. It's just, that track is tough on vehicles, but they put on a hell of a show. The drivers love it. So it's a win-win, but just a lot of carnage.
Okay, I got the other schedule. The next event is out there is on June 28th and 29th. And it's Ultra 4. It's what?
Yes, it's
Ultra
a big
4.
one.
It's a big one.
Yes, it is. Yeah, so Gomez's will be out there. I'm sure we'll see some of the Shannon will probably come out. It'll be a good lineup.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
You're going to see some of the big dogs in the 4400 come out and put on a hell of a show. So that is on my calendar. I plan on being there for that one. So and camping overnight.
Me too.
Down there by the stair steps.
Exactly. Good location. Yeah. Easy walk to the start finish line and whatnot.
Yeah.
Good stuff. So that's the next event. Right, and put it on your calendars, June 28th and 29th. I will include that in the show notes.
Okay, cool. Let's see. Moving on to competition, but a very much slower competition, calculated. Did you see what Cody Wagner Lasernut just did?
No.
Were you on the IG? You weren't. Okay. So, he built that new 4-steer buggy Moonshine. The old one was called Pretty Penny.
Yeah.
Yeah. And Pretty Penny got tarnished, so he sold it and built a new one.
Right.
Called Moonshine, right? So it's another badass freaking buggy. No part spared any expense.
Nope.
And he is letting Coulter Brassanini compete in that car this season.
Oh, that's super cool. Young kid, right?
So he's like 11 years old, I think.
Yeah. He's a young kid. Yeah.
So it's Michael Brassanini's son. Michael Brassanini's a badass, rock crawler back out there in Sand Hollow. Really cool guy, down to earth. He helped James and I out when we competed a couple years ago in the amateur competition, and James is, Black Samurai and Black Betty, and gave us a bunch of tips, along with Dave Wong, and I mean all these guys that we would watch, and then they were out there helping us, which I thought was really cool.
Sure.
So anyways, we got to know the Brassanini family there, and so I saw that on Instagram that, Cody's all here, get my car for the season. So how cool is that?
That's wicked cool, man. I mean, Cody's super cool and super generous, obviously.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So follow Coulter Rock, COLTER_ROCKS. He's got 254 followers right now. So that's definitely going to be jumping up as this kid's competing. So we'll have to get him on the podcast. We've got all the other rock crawling kids out there.
Yep.
So it's good stuff, and love to see the future of our sport growing there.
Absolutely, for sure. No doubt.
So that's really cool. So let's see what else. I don't know, man. I guess Rubicon's getting ready people are going to start hammering that here soon. Snow's breaking up there, so I think Fordyce is still pretty buried, but I know some of the big boys are going up there and trying to get through. So by Memorial Day, we should have trails fully open.
Yep.
And running strong. We've had an unusually wet spring, and like you mentioned earlier, that 26 inches of snow. Now, albeit that was at 9,000 foot.
Well, 7,000.
8,000 plus foot point. But Rubicon does reach that high. Fordyce definitely reaches that high. 7,000, just below 8,000 feet there. So definitely got some additional snow out of this last storm that is unusual. So
yeah, but the temperatures have definitely moderated, and we experienced some minor heat waves, if you want to call them that. So things will start melting off real fast, and
it is melting quick. But I'm going to still get a couple more ski days next week at Mammoth.
Good for you.
For my birthday. I love spring skiing. I've only skied on my birthday once, so if I can do it this year too, that'd be great.
Well, I know there was some chatter about people getting a little bent out of shape because they're closing it. Even though there's a ton of snow, they're going to be closing it like at Memorial Day. And I was following some chatter on, was it on Facebook? I think it was Facebook.
It's always,
some guy getting, dude, us pass holders are getting screwed. And I'm just like, dude, really?
That's the only people that are using the resort, in the lake is pass holders. It's a money losing deal. They lose their time is up with the forced lease. There's a lot of things that go into it. All the J1 employees are gone, so they don't have the staff that they used to have. So there's just several factors, and it's not just, there is corporate America that has made it rougher because Kirkwood would always stay open until Memorial Day. And now,
right. Well,
they've been shut down since the beginning of May or April.
They're talking about a lot of capital expenses that they deferred last year because of the epic snow, and they just can't do it again. They have big projects and heavy duty maintenance that needs to occur. So
exactly.
They're just asking for people to have a little bit of understanding, and they get it. People have passion about skiing, but sometimes safety and upgrades have to take precedent.
Yeah, for sure. So, good stuff. All right. Well, so what else? Everything's good in your world. You've been busy working away,
and
working on doing some brake work or something. I see some brake clean in the background. Have you been sniffing it again?
I love it. Yeah, I love brake clean. Nothing like a good bath of brake clean. No,
not as good as it used to be. The California version has definitely been dumbed down a lot.
Well, I think that's a good thing, actually. Some of the antics people did with that shit. So, anyway, my daughter called me this morning, said something was wrong with her car. It was acting weird. The brakes were grinding, and it wasn't stopping as well.
Sparks were coming out.
Like, okay, come on, limp it home. Let's see if we can. You can take my truck, my little Colorado, and I'll take a look at the car. And because today's one of my days off. And so she parked it, took my truck, and I was doing a few other. I had got a haircut, and I had to go pick up my suit for this wedding. So I had a few things I had to take care of before I looked at the car. So finally, she got home from school for lunch, and I looked at it, said, I don't even need to drive it to see what's wrong. And she's like, what's wrong? I said, well, looking through the wheel, I could see that the rotor was just munched.
Oh no.
Like, something happened something happened that was not good. So finally I brought it up into the driveway, and I struggled getting the lug nuts. I got it up on the jack stands, and because you got to work safely, right? And finally got the tire off and looked at it, and I did, man, that's stupid. It's a little Ford Focus, everything's small on it, small tools. And turns out the bolts, the Allen bolts that hold on the caliper are 7mm Allen wrenches, or I'm sorry, hex wrenches. I don't have a 7mm hex wrench. So I had to hold off on that. I called Craig, my son Craig. He had one at his shop, so he brought it over this afternoon. And bit of boom, bit of bang, we got the caliper off, and the pads fell out, and we're seeing rivets. So,
oh geez,
we got our money's worth out of those pads. So,
yes, you did.
While we're recording, my son ran off to the auto parts store. He picked up new rotors and new pads, and we're going to do a brake job in the driveway on my daughter's car. Finish that up after we record. So She'll have her wheels for going to school tomorrow. But
and then are you going to make her make earrings out of those brake pads and have her wear them for a week to remind her what it is entailed if you don't maintain your car?
The earrings of shame.
Yes, earrings of shame.
It's funny. We were talking. I said, did you not get any warnings about this? Did you not hear like a squeaking or anything? So, oh yeah, I heard a squeaking for a couple of weeks. Yeah. It's like, that's the brake wear indicator that's in every brake pad. It rubs up against the rotor and tells you it's time to take a look at your brakes. And I didn't know that. It's like, well, maybe you should communicate a little better with us. So right? she's learning. She's learning a lesson today. So
okay, that's good. It's the thing we talk about, mechanical sympathy, right? And it's like, it's kind of nice. Ignorance is bliss like that, where you're just like, oh, okay, no big deal. And I wish I could do that on the trail too. When I start hearing bad noises from my rig or somebody else's rig,
right?
And just go do, everything's good, I'm happy, and then until it's not, and then you go, oh, shit.
And you've gone 3 more miles into a gnarly trail, and now you're really screwed.
Yeah. So.
Yeah, no. I mean, it's true. And, we've seen, everybody sees these Facebook or Instagram posts of, brake rotors that people, how is like where the rotor is completely worn down to the point where you see the veins from the cooling fins inside.
Oh, yeah.
I'm and people are like, how? Just how? I mean, her rotors aren't that bad, but it's like, I don't know how people just can do that. They're just oblivious, like you said. So
yeah, no, nothing. Ignorance is bliss.
Right.
Well, hell. Okay, anyway. Well, that's good. Now she can stop.
Exactly. Well, that's kind of an important thing, especially she kind of drives a little aggressively. So
that's what you said. She drives a wee bit aggressive.
She comes into the. We live in a court, and I'd be cooking dinner at night and standing in the window in the kitchen, and it looks out over the court, and I see coming in hot. It's like, oh man.
She pulls the e-brake and slides it into the garage sideways.
Nailed it. The only other thing going on here is you had a new fence in the backyard installed today, man.
Ooh, that's exciting.
What an efficient, fast working crew. Those guys were on the job site at 8 a.m. demoing, and I don't know exactly what time they finished at, but the fence, it's almost 6 o'clock on Monday night, and the fence is definitely done at this point. So, and it's a beautiful job.
How many feet of fence?
So my section was like 61 feet that I share with my neighbor, the backside neighbor. But he had like over the whole side of his house, which is along a hiking path. was done. He did all of his fencing. So
Okay.
they did our section first to contain my dogs and his
Sure.
dogs and whatnot. And he has a pool. I don't have a pool anymore. So,
Nice.
but yeah, they did a beautiful job. They, it's a, what do they call those, friendly neighbor fence or whatever?
Good neighbor
Good
fence.
neighbor fence.
Yeah.
Usually they do the ones where they're kind of laid, in one direction.
Yeah.
They did the overlap on both sides with this style.
Yep.
And it went with the new fence. The old fence was 6 feet tall. The new one's 7 feet tall. So,
oh wow,
and instead of 4x4 posts, they used 4x6s. So this thing's beefy.
Ain't going anywhere.
Nope. Should be the last fence.
Yep. I like it.
So yeah, and I thought the price was right. So I'm super happy. And that's done. I was starting to worry the fence was going to fall over because it was definitely not looking good.
Yeah, yeah.
No. Check that box.
Okay. Good old house maintenance. There's always something to do around the house, isn't there?
Absolutely. So
it's great owning a house, but man, there's just always something to fix.
Well, I mean, next is we got to do we have to paint the house, and we're getting ready to buy furniture because our couches are looking mangy, and
oh no.
So we're looking at we're going to start spending some bucks, and then of course the backyard needs to be done because it's just a blank slate. So, but that's all future stuff, earmarked to be done. But at this point in time, the fence is done. I'm happy, and we're going to do some inside stuff, and then we'll look at painting and whatnot. So
okay, all right, good deal, man.
It never ends, man. That's the joy of home ownership.
No, you're right for sure. Okay, well, good. Well, what else? I don't know.
You've been a traveler.
Want to hear about the world travels here?
Yeah, tell us about your journey. We don't need to hear all the dirty details of meeting the ladies and whatnot, but we want to hear about the chow. We want to hear about
some cool people.
We want to hear about the bourbons and whiskeys and whatnot, and when your Czech liver light kicked in.
Yeah, so headed out. It was a family cruise vacation, leaving Seattle, Washington to Alaska. Norwegian Cruise Lines. Now, I think this is my 8th cruise. And I like cruising because it's a true vacation for me. It's, and all the people that listen to this podcast can relate because, like, when we go on vacation, with quotes, it's a week of packing the camper, prepping, your rig to go out on trail. You get, to the campsite, a Thursday or Friday night, and then you're
buying food, cooking food,
and then you're driving again. You're driving all weekend, four-wheeling and having fun with your friends, and then you hop in your RV or whatever and drive home, and then you got to unpack and clean everything. So it's like, a simple weekend trip is not a weekend trip. It's a minimum 1 week ordeal.
Right.
Usually a couple weeks prepping and cleaning and stuff when you get back. So this, a cruise is nice because you pack a duffel bag, a rolling bag, whatever you got, and you get that to the ship's port, and then it shows up in your room, and you unpack, and it's great. That's the only, you go get food. You're looking at menus with no prices on it. It's all inclusive. You got your card key that gets you into your room, gets you, you got the drink package. So then you get, free drinks and, well, free air quotes. So you prepaid, but if you drink a lot, I guess the price of drinks come down.
Right.
But yeah, it's a true vacation, and you go to bed and you wake up in a new spot in the morning. It's kind of cool. And these cruise ships have really come a long ways. This cruise ship I was on was the Encore, and it was built in 19. And then, of course, the pandemic hit, and so it sat, mothballed for a while there, and then got back into service in 22. 21, I guess, late 21, 22. So the boat was like brand new. I mean, very well maintained, huge ship. I was just amazed at the, details that they had, all the different restaurants and the bars. And, of course, this being an Alaskan cruise, they did have a cool pool area and water slides and stuff for the kids and a go-kart track. And, that was rocking on the last day we were out at sea because it actually was really nice. But all the other days it was raining and, overcast and stuff. But still, still good stuff.
Mm-hmm.
So anyway, Seattle, I never been to Seattle. Well, I guess I was there real briefly once, but I got to see Pike's Market, which was cool, and
Right.
tossing the salmon back and forth, a bunch of markets. And I mean, it'd be great if you lived there. I mean, you can get the freshest of all ingredients, fruits, vegetables, meats. Oh my God, the butchers they had there. And then they had this Italian market with all these fresh pastas and salamis. Their meat counter was incredible. I was like, oh my God, this place is like rocking. But yeah, and then we got to see the Space Needle.
Yeah.
So went up in that, and that's really cool. Elevator just jams you up to the top. You go outside, you can walk all the way around. It's glass, and then you go down a level, and then that's where they got the restaurant and bar and stuff, and that's what rotates.
Right.
And it
Right.
takes about a half an hour for one rotation. It's got a glass floor, so we're sitting there, and you're sipping your whiskey, looking out over the city, looking straight down on this glass floor, and I was like, this is pretty cool. So that was a cool experience. Also, right there is the Museum of Pop Culture. And so Jimi Hendrix, I believe, started this museum or was the first exhibit there. So they have a whole room dedicated to him. That's just awesome. I mean,
That's cool.
yeah, and they have a guitar, all these guitars and a couple keyboards and stuff that make up this huge artwork that looks like a tornado I mean, it's like starts at the bottom, maybe like 5, 6 feet in diameter and goes up to like 25, 30 feet in diameter up to the ceiling and about 30 feet tall, I would say.
Cool.
Insane. Yeah. And then, so they had guitars from Hank Williams Jr., Muddy Waters. I mean, you just kept going down the line of all this cool culture. And then the Nirvana, they had a whole room on Nirvana.
Oh, Nirvana.
Because the grunge rock started right there, and they're from Seattle, right?
Right.
And the whole thing. And then, so the famous album cover with the baby on it, right, in the swimming pool.
Yep.
And so they had notes on the top. Let's see, I have a picture of it here. It's pretty cool. The producer or whatever of oh, here it is. So they have the picture with the baby, and it says, "If anyone has a problem with his dick, we can remove it." and then it's got some other notes on there, and then he can take out the pool floor as well, just make it blue water.
Uh-huh.
So it was one of the proofs for that album. So super cool. I was like, and then they had like the Ghostbusters, pack. They had a whole sci-fi room. They had a horror room with all the horror movie stuff.
Oh, that's cool, man. I got to get up there and check that out.
A lot of different exhibits. It was a great thing to do on a rainy day. The building itself is insane. I mean, there's really no square corners on it. The whole thing is just, and in fact, I think from the Space Needle, it's supposed to resemble a smashed guitar because the famous, Jimi Hendrix smashing the guitar in Monterey, that the bits of that guitar were still there. And I think that's what they're mimicking. And then we were there on May 4th, right? May the 4th be with you.
Sure.
So they had a bunch of, in the sci-fi and stuff, they had all the Star Wars exhibits, and they had a replica R2-D2 running around that would interact with everybody. That was pretty freaking cool.
Oh, wow.
And then that other newer robot that's a couple balls together. What's he's HD4? I don't know what it is. I'm not a Star Trek fan. Somebody's yelling at their radio right now, but yeah. So I got a picture with those
Star Wars.
Yeah, Star Wars R2-D2. And then the right there is also the I'm going to butcher this name, Gahuli Gardens, the glassmaker.
Oh, yeah.
Famous glassmaker. Holy crap, it is insane. And you walk into this museum and the colors and the light and the glass, I mean, it's just like, and what's even more insane is these things look super fragile, and there's people there watching you. But you could come in there with a baseball bat and destroy the entire place in like 5 minutes.
Oh,
it's
great.
like nothing's behind glass or anything. And it's like, I can't believe, you could walk right up. Now, you're not supposed to touch anything, but you could, there's nothing stopping you, right? Other than some lady, security guard or guy in the corner that's trying to watch everybody. But there's, you know, it's crazy. The exhibits are off the charts.
That's cool.
It's insane. Yeah, the colors and then they have an outdoor section as well with some of his glass work outside in the gardens that were super cool. And then it's lit up at night, so we got to see it at night. And it's got a huge atrium. They were setting up for a party there, but we got to peek into there and stuff. But yeah, so anyways, did a lot of touristy sightseeing stuff in Seattle, which was good. But the funny thing was, we get off the plane in Seattle, and the Seattle bathrooms are like all gender.
Oh no!
And people were so confused just watching people like, is this men's? Is it women's? I don't know. Is this cool? And so yeah, you walk in and there's like no urinals, and you're like, oh crap, I just walked into the ladies' bathroom, and then no, it is. And then so I took a picture of a sign in this was in Seattle, and it said men on it. It didn't show a picture of a man or anything, but it showed a picture of a toilet, a urinal, and a baby laying on its back. So like a baby changing station.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then it had a wheelchair guy like hauling ass in the bottom. It was like really aggressive wheelchair guy in the bottom. And then it said, you are welcome to use the restroom that best aligns with your gender identity.
Wow.
So even though it said men, anybody could use it, I guess. So there you go. So there was a guy from Texas that was out there taking a picture of the door. I go, yeah, you just don't see that everywhere. He goes, you don't see that in Texas, I'll tell you that. He goes, my friends aren't going to believe this. I got to send them this picture.
Wow. That's awesome.
Yeah. So
modern times,
anyway,
man, modern times.
It's wild. It's wild. So yeah, that was crazy Seattle.
Cool.
But yeah, and then hopped on the cruise ship, and like I say, the thing was very nice. Big 100. I got some stats on that thing. I'll have to look up. But we went, all day at sea, and then Juneau, Alaska, and hit the Red Dog Saloon.
Mm-hmm.
And they're famous. That Red Dog Saloon's been around for years, and famous for their duck fart.
Right.
Shot, which is Crown Royal, Bailey's, and Kahlua, I think. So the famous duck fart. And then the next day you end up in Skagway. And so that's super cool. Oh, the floor in the Red Dog Saloon is all wood chips.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, so it's like easy to clean up. They had a country singer there, playing a guitar and singing. That was cool. And he was funny. And then yeah, Skagway's a great town, and then that has another famous bar. It used to be brothel, the Red Onion Saloon, and so that dates back to I think it's late 1800s, early 1900s. But they had all the memorabilia, and they give you a tour of the brothel for like $20 or something. We didn't have time to do that, but it would have been interesting to see, right?
Mm-hmm, sure.
But I got to give a shout out to our bartender, Michael there. So he comes out to Tahoe and stuff. They him and his wife kind of move around, but they've lived in Alaska for the last few years. And he's a big bourbon guy, so I showed him, my bourbon collection. So he was picking out all these bottles and stuff, and we were talking about different bourbons. And Jefferson Voyage 24, he highly recommended.
Oh, really?
We talked about Jefferson. It's always good, but it seems like it's a little overpriced at times. And the hype, oh yeah, it's barrel in the ocean, blah blah blah,
right,
ocean ship. But he said 24, if you can get your hands on it, give it a try. He says you will not be disappointed. So that was
Voyage 24. Huh?
Yeah, of course they didn't have any at the bar, but they did have some Haines, Alaska bourbon that I tried, and it was okay. It was light, it was very light, but I didn't spit it out. So it was good stuff.
Spits
And
or
then
swallows.
yeah, right. And then we hit the White Pass Railway, which is awesome. That's like a 3 hour ordeal. You head up into the mountains like 20 miles, and we were well into the snow. Some great scenery, waterfalls, beautiful, beautiful railway there that they had. So that was part of the original gold rush there, and you could go by rail or you can hike around. That was a shorter pass, but more challenging. Horses, mules, all that stuff, and just people were dying, literally to get to this gold mining site. Um, but this White Pass Railway was super cool.
That's
Highly
cool.
recommend that if you ever go out to out to that area. And then Glacier Bay was the next day, so we went all the way up the inlet into Glacier Bay and saw the Marjorie Glacier, and holy smokes, insane. And of
Well,
course,
that's
it's
cool.
gotten a lot smaller over the years.
I
And
was
then there
going to
was
ask,
another,
yeah.
yeah, they had pictures of what it used to be, and the progression and
Mm-hmm.
how it's shrinking. And there was big chunks of ice, in the water from it breaking apart. And so they call that calving when it
Mm-hmm.
lets go a section. And so I'm like, oh, I want to see it. Well, I was up on the bow of the ship and it let go. I heard it, but I didn't see it. I just saw the aftermath of it, hitting the water. And I was like, damn it. And it was dumping rain at that time. And they were, spinning the boat around and getting ready to head back out. And so I'm like, all right. So I head back down to the room to dry off. And we had a balcony. So I go back out to the balcony and I start filming it. And I get done. I just do a nice little panoramic video and I put the phone in my pocket. Sure enough, as soon as I'm putting the phone in the pocket, whoa, boom! I saw this huge chunk of ice fall, and it made the sound. I don't know if you've been in Yosemite with us when the rock fall happens, when rocks are
No,
falling off
I've
the.
never seen a
It's
rock
it's
fall.
yeah, it's violent and it's loud, and this was loud. And when you're on the cruise ship that far away, it's it looks like it's 60 feet high. I guess that glacier is 150 feet tall and almost a mile wide.
Wow.
And so and it was a huge chunk that fell off into the ocean, and it made a hell of a racket. Bunch of waves came out, so it was a significant deal. So I did get to see it, but unfortunately I didn't catch it on film. But very cool to see that in person. So
Did you see
and
Jack
then
float by on a raft or?
no, I didn't. I didn't. um, but then in Ketchikan, we caught the lumberjack show, which is pretty cool. Now I haven't been to Ketchikan before for fishing, and we heard the show going on, but we never went and watched it. So we got to see it this time. They put on a good show.
That's with axes
Um,
and chainsaws and
yeah,
all the above.
axes, chainsaws, hot saws.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing it all. They're climbing the poles. They're demonstrating some of the old logging techniques, and it was cool. They had four lumberjacks and teams of two that were competing against each other. So they got the crowd involved. So it was a good deal. And then we went to the on a bus ride to the Georgia Inn and got crab feed, all you can eat crab.
Ooh, fresh, probably
Oh
fresh
man,
as all get
it
out.
was so good. Yeah, fresh, hot. Mm. So we got just filled up with crab, and then they shuttle you back to the boat. You eat so much on this damn cruise. It's just like nonstop food all day long, and it's like you'd eat dinner around 6 o'clock or so, and then you're staying up till midnight, and then you're like hungry again. So then you grab a burger or fish and chips or something at the local eatery up, that's open basically 24 hours. And so yeah, it was good. The food was good on the ship. I was impressed. The desserts not so much. The desserts in a couple of the restaurants the last couple of nights, like the steakhouse stuff, was excellent, but um,
What was
the
your
desserts at the buffet was not great.
What was your favorite meal of the whole trip? Not other than on the ship.
On the ship, I'd say the Italian place. It was cool because it was good seafood and pastas, and it was just a nice kind of change, but
They have like
They
a
did have,
cioppino or something, or
yeah, they did have a cioppino, but they had a chowder, and stuff. The seafood chowder was
mm-hmm.
good. One day at the buffet, and they had a meatloaf Wellington
Ooh,
for lunch one day, and that was really good. In the buffet, I mean, the buffet was really good. It was solid, man. And in the morning they'd make your omelets or eggs to order, and they had a wide variety of foods. I mean, there was something for everybody.
cool. That's
Had a
right
whole
on.
Indian food section if you were into that.
The curries and chutneys and whatnot.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
right on.
Chinese food and all that. So that was good. Um, and so, anyways, yeah, that was cool. And then we sailed back into Victoria, BC, British Columbia, Canada, there because that Jones Act states that you need to, if it leaves from American soil, it has to go to a foreign country of some sort, I guess,
Right. Yep.
during the journey.
Yep.
So we were literally there for 3 hours, but it gave me enough time to get off the boat and find a bag of Lay's potato chips, ketchup flavored.
Oh, yuck.
So that's a Canadian thing. They're actually really good. I mean, think about it. You put ketchup on your fries,
Yeah.
right? It's really good. And so I had to shoot a picture to our friend Ian Johnson because I know he
Right.
loves those. So I sent a picture to him. Like, then guess where I'm at? And he's like, nice. So yeah. Okay, let me give you some stats on this ship. So gross tonnage. Okay, now this is tons.
Mm-hmm.
1,116 tons. Okay,
100,000.
169,000. Yeah,
116. That's a lot of
tons.
tons.
That's a lot of tons. It's a big ship. It's 182 feet long. The beam is 136, and the draft is 27 feet.
So there's no 22 RE powering that thing.
No, it is insane. All electric motors, the ASI pods.
Mm-hmm.
So they spin 360 degrees. The props are 20 feet in diameter. Let's see. There's 20 decks, and there was. Total capacity on the ship is 6,698 people.
That's including passengers
and crew.
And crew?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, max crew capacity is 1,735. And then cabins, there's 2,043 cabins.
Wow.
For patrons, and then crew cabins is 1,321. So yeah, it was built in 19 at Meyer Werft in Papenburg, Germany. So it's built in Germany.
All right. German engineering right there.
Yeah, max speed is 23.2 knots, so that's something like 28 miles an hour.
That's a pretty good clip.
Yeah, for that big of a boat. So one of the questions, we went to the captain and the engineer were there, and you can ask them questions.
Mm-hmm.
So asked how long it would take if you're going full speed to stop the ship, like a panic stop. It'd take about a mile to stop the boat.
So if you're within that mile and about to be hit, you're kind of screwed.
Yeah, you're done. You're done. Yeah. So
wow.
Pretty crazy.
I've been on 2 cruises, and cruise ships always amaze me. The fact that they're just floating cities, and it's pretty crazy. Actually, both ships that I've been on have both been destroyed. They've
wow.
Yeah. Well, the big red boat. No. They were just decommissioned and destroyed or whatever, taken apart for scrap. But I know that the big red boat we went on for my honeymoon way back, and that was an older ship. It was only about 800 feet long or 700 feet long, and it was classic style. But then we went on the Carnival cruise, the booze cruise down to Ensenada.
Yeah. I've done that one.
That ship no longer exists. During the pandemic, that was decommissioned and taken to the scrappers and broken up. So, but don't ever let me go on a cruise, because apparently whenever I go on a cruise, the ship gets
well, it's decommissioned. But that's one thing. The first cruise I went on, it actually sank the next year.
Well,
Yeah,
shit.
Dolphin Cruise Lines. Yeah, it's sitting in the bottom of the Atlantic.
They forgot to put the plug back in the bottom.
Yeah, I think so. I think so.
Shit. Hopefully nobody. The name. I don't want. No, that's grim.
No.
We don't want to talk
So
about
the
that.
bow, they used to be an old cargo ship. It was a POS, but for a first cruise, it was fine. So the the thrusters that push the boat, the front and the back of the boat, they
Yeah.
can rotate the thing 360 degrees, right? So everything, they're all electric powered, so they have full variable speed control of everything. 3,500 kW or 4,760 horsepower each.
Wow.
So the diesel generators that are producing the power for the entire ship, everything, and the motors and everything, um, they're 800 kilowatts or kW.
Each.
There's two of them. Yeah, there's two of them.
Wow, that's a lot of power.
Yeah, and so the propulsion output is 35 kW, and then the combined total, it says here, output power 2 times 16,800. Yeah, and then the combined total, it says 62,400 kW.
Wow.
Holy crap! Yeah, lots of all the electric, all the volts, the watts,
all the whoop house.
Yeah.
That's cool, man. Well, I tried to talk my wife into going on a cruise recently, and she's been on more cruises than I have, and she's kind of over it. She wants to travel overseas and do some stuff, some tourism, in Europe and maybe in the Far East again or something. So I'm down with that. I want to get to Italy and I want to get to Spain within the next 5 years, and I don't know if I have any real interest in going to the Far East because it's just too foreign for me, but if she and Miranda want to go, I'm willing to send them and they can have a good time. So I know they went to Hong Kong a while back, my wife and daughter, and they had a ball. So
really,
the idea of sitting on an airplane for 15 hours, I don't know about that.
Yeah. For sure, huh?
So, well, cool, man. That's really cool. I'm glad you had a good time. I know that it's always hard to reintegrate back into the real world when you come back from a trip like that. So, it's like you get slapped in the face. Oh, you got to get back to work now, or
yeah.
Got to pay the bills. All right. Well, good stuff. So hopefully, the Adopt-A Trail is coming up pretty soon. That's going to be, I believe, the June 7th, 8th, and 9th.
7th, 8th, and 9th. Correct.
And I think we're shooting to be camping at Horse Gulch, which is about 3 or 4 miles in on 709 off of Highway 4.
Right.
And if you can make it, we certainly appreciate your help. Bring a rig, bring a good attitude, bring gloves, bring a shovel, and plenty of fluids and gloves.
It's always a good time. A lot of work, but a good time. So
many hands
definitely.
for light work, man.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, if you're interested in helping out, get a hold of Chris or I.
Absolutely.
We'll put you to work.
Right on.
For a good cause.
And there'll be
trails open. It's basically 4 trails that we're keeping open in that area. Total mileage is something around close to 40 miles worth of trails that we're maintaining.
I believe it. Yeah. just the Corral Hollow Trail is a good 14 or so miles.
Yep.
So.
Yep. So, all right.
Cool. I think we've covered a lot. We've covered a lot of bases, man. That's cool.
Updates there. We got 3 voicemails. We're going to have to do that next time because I can't play them through my phone while we're recording. So next week we'll do those. So if you left a voicemail, it will be played next week. And if you haven't, leave a voicemail between now and next week, and we'll get you in the queue there.
That's right.
That number is 408-800-5169.
That's right. 408-800-5169. You can also email us at Chris at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com or Jason at wheelingwineandwhiskey.com. You can also catch us on the IG at Wheeling Wine Whiskey. I'm there. I'm www.chrism on the Instagram. I am on the Instagram again right now because summertime's ramping up and I need to know what's happening. So, Yeah, things are ramping up, and I need to start participating again. So, and then if you can go, we talked about the irate 4x4 earlier in our barrel society. But you can also go to our website, wheelingwinewhiskey.com, where you can see all of our past episodes and, of course, links to our merch. And what else is there? I think that's kind of it. So is there anything else? Do we miss anything?
I think we're good. We got it covered.
Yeah.
And with that,
we're out.